666 TV channels of varying quality beamed right into your home, and it only costs you a one-time fee of your soul. At least it does in this week's discussion of Stay Tuned. Making her third appearance on the podcast is my cousin Vera.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be back.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chad, and you are dialed into episode 103 of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, so got some show business to tend to right at the top of the show. So I'm not editing this, so hopefully this happens, but this episode is probably coming out Saturday instead of Friday because I did a bonus episode 3 days ago, which would have been Wednesday for you in the past, but for me, it is my future. Yeah. So hopefully that happened.
I'm tracking.
Yeah. Hopefully I did that. Let's see. Also, I caught up with a old guest and also a former coworker of ours, Matt, Sarah from episode 30 of the podcast. I caught up with her recently, and on the way to hang out with her, I listened to the episode she was on, and I'm like, ugh. I was editing this episode without headphones on because that sound quality was all over the place. Like I had to keep adjusting the volume in my car because everybody was just so yeah. But anyway, Vera's back. So how you doing, Lady Ma'am Miss?
I am good. I am suffering from energy drink deficit right now. Like,
ooh, you hooked on that. Hooked on that stuff, huh?
Oh my gosh! Like,
what is your energy? What is your energy drink of choice right now?
I have bounced between C4 and this other one escapes me what brand it is, but I know C4 is a big one for me.
So before we go down this rabbit hole, Matt, are you an energy drink person?
No. The only time I drink energy drinks is the last time I drank an energy drink was probably when I had to drive like a couple hours and I took a 4-hour energy drink. But on a regular like Monster or anything like that, okay. Probably not since like my Navy days.
Oh wow, that's a nice minute ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned C4 beer. I was at the grocery store one time, maybe last month or the month before, and I saw that they had a Starburst flavored C4. And I was like, oh, yes, I have to do this. So I got it. And I'm like, I think it was the pink Starburst. And I was like, first off, this doesn't really taste like Starburst. Second off, my mouth itches.
Oh, yeah, it does that.
It does that.
I thought it was just me.
No, I think we're allergic. Because we're related, because like my face was itching, then like my hand was itching, and it reminded me of my grandmother, who I remember growing up, she'd always be like scratching the palm of her hand, and she'd always like eat like not weird stuff, but like when she worked, she would like buy stuff from the store at her job, and I think she was probably allergic to some of that stuff. That's why she was all like scratching her wrist.
Okay.
And so like that just gave me a flashback to those days. But nah, man, we allergic to C4. You gotta stop drinking that.
I can't remember the other flavor, but I just chalked it up to the game. Like another person drank it and he had said the same thing. So I was like, it's working.
Oh, you're I hate to break it to you, but you're related to that person, Vera.
No. It was another person from work.
Well, that's your cousin, all right?
Yeah, his son. He was saying the same thing. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not just me. But I floated through like Celsius, First Form. I mean, it's been a few.
No food or drink should make you itchy.
I agree. I don't know. I'm like, I take the good with the bad with this thing. It's like living in paradise, but you got bugs all over. I mean, or living up north, but you're gonna have snowstorms. I'm like, look, I gotta outweigh the good with bad.
So I just looked this up. All I typed in was C4 itchy. And yeah, this is a common thing that when people drink C4, they get really itchy. And they say it's caused by the beta alanine,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just okay. We with you, Matt. We with you.
Melanine. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what they said. They said plenty of people who do drink it do get itchy.
I think that's a sign that we shouldn't be drinking it. I feel like
or
that
just means no, that just means what's working there.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So I like Ghost Energy because similar to C4, they pay the actual companies for flavors. Like they've got like a Sour Patch flavor and a Swedish Fish flavor. And it tastes just like the candy.
Okay.
And they don't make you itch.
Oh, that's a plus.
It's always things you got to look into these days.
Well, I'm getting ready to go on a cleanse, so I won't be having any of it for at least like 20 days.
You gonna do coffee at least? Black coffee?
I do, but oh man, coffee does some weird things to me. Like one time I drank coffee and it had me up for at least 26 or 27 hours straight. Like there wasn't a hint of fatigue.
Yeah.
Like
it's like do you remember that commercial when we were kids about it was an anti-meth commercial, but the woman was like up cleaning her house because she was like, I don't sleep.
No, what? Let me type this in. I do not remember that.
I will pull it up for the class. Hold up.
No, I don't.
Yep, here it is right here. Hold up. Let me see.
Look at me, busy as a bee. Where'd I get all this energy? Oh man, man.
I remember this now.
I don't need, but I've got the cleanest house on the street. Oh man, man. Get these hairs all out of my face. Get these bugs all out of my place. One more hit, no time to waste. Oh man, man.
The Fresh Maker.
What?
I remember the music. That's what I remember.
You don't remember that, Vera?
It sounds a little familiar, but I am very ecstatic that you replayed that. Like, that's what I needed to hear on this day. Yep.
No, I've been there too. For the longest, I really didn't mess with like coffee and energy drinks, and so like I remember I was like cramming a lot for like school, and I got like some coffee, and I was up for like a day and a half. Like I was in the zone. But now I'm drinking coffee right now, and this is barely gonna get me through this show.
Holy crap. Welcome to parenthood.
It's the worst. I love her to death, but also she's the worst. Before we get into the show proper, I wanted to ask you about a follow-up from your first episode when you say you had a ghost encounter and you took a picture of a ghost. And I asked you to look into this week. Did you get a chance to try and find the picture?
No, I remember like yesterday that my mom has the camera and misplaced it. Yep, camera's gone too. I was like, awesome. And before that happened, I had lost. Oh man, it's a tragedy. I had lost the charger with it. Like it was some kind of thing where you could just plug it in and it would charge up the camera. Yeah, gone. It was like not recouped.
I need you to get it together, miss.
I have to start with where it is now. Because my mom was like, I can't remember where I put that. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're going to revisit this topic at the end of the year.
Oh, oh, when she told me that, I was like, I could have kept it here then, but whatever.
You've been watching Bel-Air on Peacock?
Yes, I have. I am now. I will say, I think I'm 2 episodes behind. Like I haven't seen the last two, but
You, you
totally season one, first few episodes of season two.
you're doing better than us. We stopped at season 1. Like we saw all of
Oh,
season 1, but then you had that year gap, and it's just like I don't feel like coming back to this world.
it was a year, wasn't it?
It's so
Yeah,
funny because we reviewed it week by week and everything, and we was enjoying it. But once that layoff happened, it was like, yeah, I'm not getting back on this.
Right. So how is it? Like, is it still depressing?
oh my gosh, this is still depressing. I didn't find it depressing. I think it just throws me off on how different the characters are from the first one. I am proud with this second season that they're I don't know, uh like Will's character and Carlton's character are trying to be like more involved with how the black kids are treated at their school and what to do about that. And so I was like, oh, they're actually talking about real topics versus the original. I felt it was more comedy. Like this one feels
Uh-huh.
way more serious to me.
Does it feel hollow? Because like a lot of times when shows are like, oh yeah, we want to touch on like real issues, they just do surface level stuff just to be like,
Oh,
oh yeah, we talked about this. Anyway, back to business.
yeah, it was a little bit of it. It wasn't. It definitely was very light.
Okay.
And they were gonna make sure maybe season three could come back
Mm.
if they wanted to.
I'm very curious if they get a third season because I remember before the show came out, they said that they got 2 seasons off the bat. But because
Um,
of, the behavior of the executive producer, I'm curious if they're going to get that third season.
oh, see, I didn't know about guaranteed 2 seasons. I didn't think this one was gonna come back after
I mean, at
that.
before last year, that one executive producer was bulletproof.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Look at that.
Hmm.
Not before. Not anymore. Not anymore.
So overall, so far, what are your thoughts on season 2 though?
I actually liked one more than season two. If it keeps continuing like it is, I don't think.
Okay.
I hate to say it, three might not come.
Oh, the season's not really
Uh, it's
okay.
okay so far.
Okay.
It's okay so far, but I'm just glad to see something from like my childhood being remade. But I didn't know they were gonna remake it like this. This is awful serious.
This is
I guess I appreciate it. A lot of black shows I feel like aren't serious. So,
Yeah, but it's either we get something light and fluffy like Moesha, or we get something like too real like Snowfall or Power. And it's like we not drug dealers, y'all. We not all drug dealers, we not
right.
all in the trap.
True, true. Did you ever
Right. I
see
think
a show called Family Reunion and it had one of the Maury twins on there? She was the
Yeah, I
mom.
remember that.
I feel like that went in between both worlds.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say that was pretty good. I probably should have put that down as one of my uh topics, but yeah, that was pretty good.
My thing is like I don't like watching sitcoms on streaming services, like new sitcoms, because I feel like this isn't where you belong.
Mm,
I
mm,
can see that.
yeah. Yeah,
But,
I can see
but
that too.
that's just me. Like I understand that like the way I want to view content isn't like how everybody else is, but that's how I feel. What were you gonna ask, Matt?
Um, I forgot now.
That's fair.
Oh no, I think I was gonna say like Snowfall is a new thing, so we can go deep and dirty and grimy and things like that. But it's like when you take something as it wasn't always lighthearted. There was some serious moment, but it was a comedy essential with the Fresh Prince. But then when you make it, when you do a complete 180 and make it dark and grimy and everything, it's hard to like new people, like younger generation who's never seen the Fresh Prince will like it because it's something brand new. But it's hard to see these characters like this and everything if it's not on point with the storytelling and everything else like that to keep you drawn in.
Also, you're watching Turkish TV now? What's going on here, Bear?
Oh, I got like an obsession just with foreign films, be it a movie and or a series.
Have you seen RRR?
No, why have I passed by that?
You need to get on it.
R. What nationality or?
It's an Indian movie. It's not
Oh,
Bollywood.
okay.
It's not Bollywood, but it derives from India.
Okay. I watched. It's supposed to be a scary movie that was supposed to be filmed in India. I can't remember the name of it, but some of those shows I watch, like they're not dubbed over, they're speaking English, and sometimes it is awfully dang fast. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, if you're watching it on Netflix don't care about Netflix don't care. So they'll just get like an intern to just read the lines and just keep it moving.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, my other ones they do, but whoo, that accent is fast. Oh man. Yeah. So that's probably why I didn't click on it. I probably got
Yeah, you gotta go in the settings.
yeah. I'm like, oh wait. Yeah, I've had my share of ones where I was like, this seemed like it would be good, but I can't watch it. But that show, The Protector, I've watched that series 3 or 4 times, and I think it's 4 seasons.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh my gosh, how can I keep watching this same thing? Like
This is
I'm expecting a
this is
different ending.
Netflix.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, just a little bit of it. It's a guy who finds out he comes from a bloodline of protectors of Istanbul, Turkey. And part of his powers is a shirt that makes him like bulletproof, all kinds of proof. Um, a dagger that he has because he's supposed to protect Istanbul from immortals that want to take over. And it's
Okay.
just like a long.
When
It's a
is this set like in modern day or is this like back in ancient times? Like what's happening here?
yes. So it starts off in modern day, and then he's able to travel back in time to try to change the past to make the present different for him, so he can save
Ooh,
Istanbul.
these episodes are only 30 minutes too. I can get down with that.
How many episodes a season?
Right, it's quick. And so I'm just like, I've
Uh
seen it so many times.
10 episodes for the first season. There's 4 seasons.
So
Second season only has 8 episodes, but yeah, 30 minutes I can do. I'd be hating when I jump on a TV show and it's like 52 minutes for an per
right.
episode. I'm like, I gotta devote a whole hour for this.
Or like something like HBO quality where they're like, all right, this episode's 110 minutes. Like what?
Right. Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in a couple of weeks, man, it's gonna tell me about the Protector because, like, no offense, but I'm not watching it. Mostly because of time.
Oh.
No offense.
Oh well, hey, I hear you. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm childless in this world, so I definitely got the time.
Also, you renounce your religion.
Renounce my religion?
You're no longer vegan.
Oh, that's hilarious. So no, I mean I eat mostly plant-based, but I have something up with my thyroid, and I noticed like when I was consuming fish products, that's where I'm off of the vegan kick. It helps it, like it's not irritated or feeling like it's a a growth on there. So weird. But it's just not as irritated when I consume like fish products.
Are you like seeing your doctor about it? Like surgery yet?
Oh yeah, like I've even had them biopsy. It's not cancerous. It's just annoying.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting this is just kind of like getting worse. So I just changed my diet. So I have fish from time to time, but everything else is mostly dairy free.
Interesting.
How
Hmm.
long have you been vegan before this?
I had did it solid for a year, but the vegetarian thing before 2020, well, the end of 2020, no, before 2022, 3 years.
So like going back to like start eating fish, did that do anything to your stomach since your body wasn't used to eating it, or was it just
I
fine?
was I was surprised. No, I didn't
That's
know how that was gonna
interesting.
go. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go real bad, real quick, and no, I haven't had any like adverse effects from it. Really? Mm-mm.
That's really
That's good.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
But
happy
this
for your
good old
digestive
thyroid,
system.
it's in my way.
Trying to
Yeah.
push that bad boy out of the way, Vera.
I'm supposed to get it removed, but I was like, the doctor's bill for even getting this looked at hasn't been paid off. So I'm like, at this point, if I get the surgery, I'm gonna have to go home with the surgeon. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
I mean, so
can't.
you gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do
Right.
in this world, Vera. All right.
Right.
I'm like, I gotta work this off somehow because dollars ain't gonna be there. Oh my god. I really don't want surgery, but I know I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
But for now, I haven't noticed any difference. I mean, like the testing to see if it was cancerous or not was like different. It was 6 needles in my
No.
neck while I was
No.
awake.
No.
And I
Wow.
was just,
Mm.
Mm-mm.
yeah, I was like, man, this is different. I bet most people in this state can't even say they had this done. Yeah, that was a lot, but hey, I watched it and looking at the
Oh yeah, you
screen.
just looking at it like, go to
Yeah.
the left.
Missed the spot. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing the numbing stuff that they have at the hospital. I was just like, whoa, I didn't know you can numb a body part and the person still be awake like that, like alert.
Have you not
And
had oral surgery before?
no.
So I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and they aren't far. I could pull them out. I still have them. I asked them to give them to me, but that's a whole nother
Oh.
story. But I opted to be awake for the surgery instead of being put out because one, that's a lot more on your insurance, and two, you're gonna just be out of it, and like you can't drive home and all that stuff. And so
Yeah.
I was like, I opt to not do it. So like they it was like all four wisdom teeth. And so like they put the needle in your gums. It's like um a sharp prick in
Mhm.
all four sides. And it was wild because like when they were like breaking the wisdom teeth out, it sounded like I was chewing hard candy. Like it really messes with the brain.
Wow. Wow. I understand that. I said I could like the motion of something in my neck, not the pain, but just something going in and out. Like I could
Hmm.
feel the vibration of that. I was just
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And the nurse was like, I'm very surprised you kept your eyes open, was looking, wasn't moving, wasn't freaking out. I was like, hey, if I freak out on this and you got all these needles in here, I
Yeah.
might not be able to tell anybody this story. So no.
But they would escalate that surgery.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it probably would have came out that day. Yeah, yeah. Oh
Uh,
my God.
well, I hope nothing but good things going forward for this, Vera.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Matt, you're trying to be a regular Goodwill Hunting over here.
Yes. The other 2 podcasts ago, I talked about animal control and how, you know, different scenarios for the same TV show, just in different locations. So then I was like, you know what? I should write a pilot for housekeeping and a sitcom pilot. So I was like, how hard could it be? George Costanza and Jerry Seinfeld wrote a pilot. So I did my Googles of how to write a pilot. And I'm like, okay, cool. I got the setting. I got the couple characters. And then I looked on there. It's like, you have to write their lines. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
right. I was like, in my head, I was like, the guys come up with a broad thing and then somebody else fill in the point. So I was like, yeah, you open up into a dirty, nasty hotel room, kind of like a hangover type of thing. And the first person is like, it's like two housekeepers. And it's like, why do I always got to get the nasty rooms? And then the older housekeeper says, and then that's all I have right now.
Well, you didn't even establish that one was old and one was young.
Well, no, I'm about to get there. She was going to say something. And I was like,
no, but I meant in the script, because the script, you aren't hiding things from the reader in the script. You're hiding things from the
from the viewer. But it's like, yeah, I have to get these characters down. I have to write down this character's name and their attributes and everything else like that. And I was like, script writing is hard.
Yes.
But it's like, as I'm writing stuff, I'm like, people say I'm funny, right? So I'm writing this stuff down, trying to get these jokes off. And then I'm like, yeah, they're going to say this. And I'm reading it back. I'm like, no, that shit ain't fucking funny. And I write something else. No, that shit ain't funny.
Right.
Am I funny? Have I been lied to?
Like, my thing is like, yes, we're all funny, but some people are funny because they can react off of something. And other people are funny because they can create comedy. And I think you and me react well. Now, I will say this coming up. I will say this, you know, this is to toot your horn, Vera. You are a really funny person. Like, you tell really funny stories. And so, like, I feel like you are a good, like, creator of comedy. Like, I remember from our youth, you were telling this story about some girl that called you, like, out the blue, telling you that she was pregnant. And you're like, huh, right.
Oh.
But here's the thing, friend. I'm 12. What am I supposed to do here?
How old was this person?
No, they were both like in like middle school or whatever.
Right? Yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot all about that.
But no, like, I still remember that story. Right. I still remember that story. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Holy smokes. I forgot all about that's like, man, that's almost 30 years ago. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But no, like, that's what this episode is about, like the past. Like, you know, bringing old things back up. Like Matt, when he went to see the new Super Mario Brothers movie.
And
no, I want to put out there for the record, time of recording, I have not been able to see this because of, you know, personal things in my life, aka my daughter being a blocker. But as non-spoilery as possible, tell us about this. Did you go on base? Like, give us the whole spiel.
I went on base because it's not coming out in Japan until the 28th. It was packed, of course, because all the ships are back and everything. And I didn't, well, you guys, the listener, know how I feel about this base theater. So I didn't even attempt to get nothing crazy. Just a drink and popcorn, and we're going to keep this moving. But overall, I enjoyed it. They did things that were tickled your nostalgic bone, the way they presented some things. Of course, you know, in this day and age, everybody got to have what's it called? Mid-credit scenes or post-credit scenes, whatever word you want to use. Every movie got to have that now, so that's in there. Yeah. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I think the biggest thing is like I really liked how much my son enjoyed it. Because he was like glued to the screen the whole time. It wasn't like getting up, going to the bathroom, or moving around or anything else like that. He was glued to the screen. So, yes, it's a good movie. I know you are super major Mario, so you probably have more critiques than I would.
Oh my. I don't want to hear that.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I think because you'll probably know something like, man, or they did this in Super Mario 64, or add some other stuff that like I wouldn't know about.
I see. You got any interest in this movie, Vera? Or have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I think I would, just because of going back to like the actual video game. So if they had any movies or series or whatnot in between the original game and to now, I have not seen it.
Nah, after that one with John Leguizamo that we saw together in the theater back in the day.
Oh yeah.
They was like, nah, yeah, I can't do nothing with our stuff.
One thing I did enjoy, because everybody got to have their nice, cute little promo at the beginning, right? You know how Marvel does, and DC now does all the little characters at the beginning of the movie. Nintendo has one now, so I want to assume it's maybe because they're gonna start doing more Nintendo movies, but it's like the original Mario was that 8-bit.
Yeah,
it's like an 8-bit thing where Mario and Luigi are both on there, and then they both hit the little box, and I thought that was a little cute how Nintendo's got their little opening now. Okay. So I want to assume that more Nintendo movies are going to be on the way.
I mean,
would you be here for a Metroid Prime movie?
It depends on how they do it. So yeah, right now I'm playing Metroid Prime. It's my latest library video game because as we've talked about for so long on this show, I am broke these days, and so I get my games from the library. So they remade Metroid Prime. This originally came out on the GameCube 21 years ago. And the only thing that they really upgraded on it were the graphics and also like the control scheme, because it's a different controller these days. But like they kept like a lot, like all the elements from the original game. And like this is the second Metroid game I played. I played the newest one on Switch last year, I think, and I had a blast with that. But this one is like you're in an open world, like a planet, and Metroid is famous for like backtracking. So like you will start off in one area and you'll get like some power-ups, and then you will go to another area and get another power-up. And then you need to go back to that first area to blast something with this new weapon you got from the second area to get to the third area. And then you get a power from the third area that you need to go back to the first area because there's more stuff to break down there. So like that's
convoluted. I don't like that.
Yeah, and also something I hate is that this is one of those games where you start off with all your powers, and then something happens, and then you lose all your powers when the game starts properly, and you have to refine everything. Like they do this in every game. And so what I'm not liking about Metroid Prime Remaster is that there's no objective system, which is something very common in games these days, which tells you need to do this, so go here. And so like I'm just in the world and I don't know where I'm supposed to go. So I'm over here looking at a guide like, it's 2003 and like is like the way I have to read the guide is like, what power up do I not have yet? So I'm going down the line like how they wrote the guide, so I know, okay, now I need to do this and do this, because it's like it's so unclear what I have to do next. And so that is when I'm finding frustrated.
All the kids back in the day had to do it that way.
Yeah, but especially at this time, I subscribe to Nintendo Power. So I feel like if I find those books, I could probably just use those instead of the internet. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the game. I'm frustrated because I don't know where to go.
Gotcha.
And also right now, I just finished another one of those Batman comics, the one where it follows like a villain. This one is Batman One Bad Day Catwoman. And I really enjoyed this until the end. And so in this one, you're following Catwoman, and it starts off with her doing like a heist at like a at an auction. So like she scales the this building, goes to the roof, takes out some guards, and then shimmies through the air duct. And then she, she's inside the place, and then she dresses up like a caterer, and she's looking at like some of the pieces. And then we get a flashback to she's looking at this necklace, and we get a flashback to when she was a child, and her mother had to sell a family heirloom that their grandmother had during World War II to like pay the rent. And so like she's selling it at a pawn shop, and the dude's all like, oh yeah, these jewels in this necklace, they're fake, and this, that, and the other. So I give you $200 for it. And she's like, that won't cover my rent, but I'll take it. And so Catwoman feels like she's writing it wrong because like it was this, somebody found it and like in that pawn shop years later, and they're like, this is actually worth millions of dollars. And so she feels like, she got hosed. And so she's having this conversation with this curator who, appraised it and everything. And she's like, okay. So then she's, going along with the heist. And then she sees like Bruce Wayne at the auction too. She's like, well, can't go that way because, you know. And so she, it's kind of cool the way she stole it. Like, before they actually bring the stuff out to the, to be bid on, like people like get it and like clean it off and stuff and make it presentable. And she came in there and like accidentally tripped over the table and pocketed it. And so that was kind of cool. So like the next day she goes to her fence and he's like, this is fake. Why did you bring this to me? And she's like, but they just appraised it for all this money. And he's like, well, maybe somebody stole it before you did and replaced it with a fake. Get out of here. And so she's like, okay. So she finds the woman that she was talking to, and because she realizes that lady is a criminal. And before she goes to confront her, Batman's like, stop. Like, I didn't know what this meant to you, but I need you to stop because we got an investigation on this. And she's like, I hear you, but no. So she goes and confronts the lady, and the lady like beats her up. And she's like, look, man, yes, that was fake. It was fake the whole time. I sold that fake to your grandmama 40 years ago. All right. Items have worth. Sometimes we make items more worth more than they actually are, right? Because of the memories and the myths that we create around them. Like, the stories of old. Like, oh yeah, my grandmother told me blah, blah, blah about this little piece. And in real life, it was fake. Maybe your grandmama knew, but your mama didn't. Your daddy didn't. What, So like we think it's real. And so like that's the lesson of the story. Like nothing happens with the lady. Like Catwoman gets beat up. Like she's puffy by the end of the episode. And Batman's like, I told you to chill, dude. And so I didn't really like that we didn't get really any like true resolution, but like I kind of get what they were going for,
Right. Life lessons.
Right. So overall, it was a pretty good book. Funny enough, I think her name's like G. Willow Wilson wrote it. That's the lady. That's the white lady that created Muslim Miss Marvel. Right. But it was pretty good. I just didn't like the ending. And
was this a book or digital?
I mean, it's both. You can get it in. Oh, it's a comic book, but you can get it.
Like, what I'm saying, what are you reading it on? That I mean,
digital, because also through the library you can get digital books too.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lastly, Ted Lasso season 1 on Apple TV Plus. Either one of you seen the show?
I have not. I've heard of it.
So it's got Jason Sudeikis. He was famously from Saturday Night Live, and he plays an American football coach that gets hired to coach a British football team, or soccer as we would call it. And he's hired intentionally to make sure that the team loses, because the new owner of the team got the team from her husband in their divorce, and she's trying to like make the team suffer out of spite. It's a comedy, but it's like really wholesome and heartwarming and stuff, because like Ted Lasso is like an optimist, and it's just like it just oozes off the screen, and it just makes you feel so good. Like just I don't know. It's just like it's a lot of emotion. It's a very emotional show. It's really good. It's really
So
good.
when everybody was talking about it and it was winning awards and stuff, it was justified.
Yes. Like it's a feel good show. There are some stuff that comes up that just it makes you sad. It made me sad. Like you learned this in the first episode. Ted is like having issues with his wife. And so there's an episode in the season where his wife and his son come visit him, and she's like, "Look, I love you, but I don't love you in that way anymore, and I can't be with you anymore." And I was just like, "This is hitting me all in the wrong places." Yeah, but it's an excellent show. I'm looking forward to watching season 2, and the third and final season of the show is airing right now, week to week. So it's definitely something I'm going to be talking about in the weeks to come. I highly recommend Ted Lasso season 1 if you have the time.
I probably will have the time, but I probably won't.
Respect.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
Apple TV. Totally ignorant to this. Like, what the world? Do you like have to have an iPhone, or what? What is this?
So a couple things. So an Apple TV is a streaming box.
Oh.
But Apple TV Plus is a streaming service that you can get on wherever you may stream your device, your stuff. Like, what do you stream your stuff on? Fire Stick?
Yes.
So that you can download the app and pay $10 a month or whatever Apple's charging.
Okay, yeah, my mom, she'll find a way to make that free. And my mom, she can watch TV shows in Pakistan. No lie.
No, I believe you.
Oh, what? Yeah, like can watch live news in all countries that have TV.
So she know what's going down and like getting the traffic report every morning in Pakistan.
Yeah, she could. Yeah, she could, but no, I'd be the one that'd be tuning in and trying to figure that out, but not her.
But
yeah, it's she'll get around it.
Apple TV has a couple good shows on it.
Okay.
Mythic Quest.
Severance also. Severance.
Yeah. But you said you didn't like the show with Will Ferrell.
No, not Will Ferrell. Steve Carell. Steve Carell and Rachel from Friends and Sweet Home Alabama.
No, it was one with Will Ferrell, and he's a psychiatrist, a doctor.
No, I never saw that show. That's also Steve Carell. Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson. It's on FX. Steve Carell plays a therapist, and Domhnall, however you say his name. He kidnaps him, and he's like, "Make me better."
The show I am thinking of is not Shrinking.
Yeah, I didn't like Shrinking. That's got Harrison Ford in it.
What, you didn't like it?
Yeah.
Oh, Blackbird is amazing on Apple TV Plus. I would highly recommend Blackbird.
Blackbird, okay.
Never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, The Shriek Next Door with Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Well, then somebody on the show seen it, and they talked about it, and they said they didn't really like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready
Justin
to?
Timberlake on TV.
He is on TV or Apple
Um,
TV.
Apple TV. He's in a movie
Oh,
called
that
Palmer.
movie. Yeah, yeah.
Did we ever talk about Tom Holland and Cherry?
You saw it and you didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, also I got Uncut Gems, which is a good movie too. Apple Plus doing their thing out there.
That was good. I seen that. That
Yeah.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah. I really thought he should have gotten an award. Adam Sandler should have got an award for that.
He didn't even get nominated.
I agree.
Right.
Now he's making Murder Mystery 2 because y'all not giving this man respect.
Did you ever see the first one?
Yeah, I saw the first one. I didn't like it that much.
I started it. I didn't see the whole first one.
Yeah, I seen
forgot.
I was like, they got a second one. I was like, did I ever see the first? And I was like, okay, no, I did not see the first.
No, I was talking to Rachel the other day, and she's like, I was like, what are you up to? She's like, oh, I'm watching Murder Mystery 1 so I can watch 2. I was like, what? Why? What are you doing with your night? What is wrong with you? All right. Y'all ready to do this review?
Yes.
Yes.
This week we discuss Stay Tuned.
Sorry to disturb you at this hour, but I have something you want. A new TV?
It broadcast programs no one had ever seen.
Wednesday at 9, don't miss an all-new episode of The Silencer of the Lambs.
Then one night, Roy and Helen Nabel got sucked in and discovered that hell is one TV show after another.
A husband and wife are sucked into a hellish television set and must survive the gauntlet of twisted versions of shows in which they find themselves. So my first question to you two is, have either one of you seen this before?
Yes.
I have not.
Okay. So I knew the answer was yes for you, Vera, and that's why you're here this week, because we've seen this together.
Yes, I
Yes.
definitely remember. Yep.
Yeah, like when I was younger, you know, my mom and your mom would take turns watching us and stuff, and we were over your house and it was on. And I remember bits and pieces. I remember we could never remember the name of this movie.
Yeah, when you sent me the movie, and I was like, stay tuned. Why do I know this? Then as soon as I turned it on, I was like, oh yeah, with John Ritter. Yep. I remember it.
So what were some of you all's favorite channel worlds that they visited? Any favorites?
The cartoon. I like the cartoon one. I like the Wayne's World one for the simple because I watched Wayne's World, so I was like, I like how they did that. And what's another good one?
That was funny. I watched that quite a bit. I watched Wayne's World the movie and when it was on SNL. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really liked that one where they were doing the prank show where they're like, all right, this man, he's not really a police officer. He's gonna knock on this woman's door and tell her husband's dead. Let's watch. And it like the moment that kicked in with that narration, it reminded me of those episodes of Rick and Morty when they watch TV.
The intergalactic channels. As soon as they got on this, I was like, this is exactly what I thought of.
I'm like, this must be the inspiration for that. Cause like the moment the dude started the narration, I just started cracking up because that's all I could think of.
But also with those prank shows, it's like you get stuff like that now with all the pranks and YouTubes and social media stuff like that. Yeah.
You any favorites, Vera?
I think you all pretty much named a favorite. I didn't get what scene or movie when they were like in the 1700s or the 1800s and both the husband and wife were supposed to be females and the husband's gonna get his head cut off. I was like, what is this playing off of? I
think it's just like general like historical dramas.
Okay. I was like, was this supposed to be a show? I really don't remember this at all.
I also really liked the Three's Company nod.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so overall sorry.
And that driving Miss, what was it? The
Driving over Miss Daisy.
Driving over Miss Daisy. Yeah.
Yeah, that had me laugh out loud. Okay, yeah, it's coming to me. Yeah, the driving over Miss Daisy, hilarious.
Northern overexposure.
Yeah.
30 something to life.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, it clashes with the bars.
oh my god.
But all right, overall thoughts here.
It was,
Let's keep it negative. Start with your negatives.
oh, it was a little too hokey. Like you could be funny, but it was a slight bit overkill with how they were trying to make fun of the different shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just didn't like the daughter's character. Like she irritated my soul. I didn't like her.
Yeah, but I feel like she was give as the youth would say now. She was giving teenage girl.
Yeah, she was. I don't know. She was getting on my nerves. I was like, if he was an only child, I would have been fine with that too.
I'm like, if
If
your
the
little
son was.
blossom looking self don't calm down and
That's
listen
what
to the show,
that's what I
man.
thought too. Blossom when she had the little hat on. I was like, oh, that's
Right.
Blossom.
Matt, negatives.
All right, let's start from the very beginning.
Oh,
We had
oh.
20. We had
This man
2023.
took his notepad out.
Right, because like I started it, and then that intro don't need to be that damn long.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
so I started it, and then like I was getting my food and stuff ready, and then I'm getting situated, and I get down, and that intro is still playing, and not just the
you done
intro,
eating.
right? Because it was just like, oh, here's the stars of the show. It was like, oh no, we about to do like producers and all this other stuff, and I'm like, that intro don't need to be that long.
It reminded me of Superman the movie, where like the credits are there, and then they do that to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like the credits are like flying to the screen. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Go on, Matt.
Yeah. So and also I was editing it right now. I meant to do this last night, but there was one part where the boy is on his bicycle, and the satellite dish is sucking him in, trying to suck him in. As you watch it, when he gets up in the air, there's hands holding him up like this.
Oh, I didn't even
So then I
notice
was like,
that.
So I was like, wait, what? So I rewound it, and yeah. So I took a screenshot of it. I'm editing right now. I'm gonna send it to you. But like when he gets up in the air, you see hands like this holding him up.
Well, that's that. We're gonna YouTube people. You're gonna see that.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
But yeah, I didn't care for the daughter. And also he's an asshole.
John
Not
Ritter.
an asshole. Not an asshole. That's
You're
not
talking
the
about John
word.
Ritter, right?
Yeah, John Ritter, the husband. He's just
He's neglectful.
yeah, neglectful. And then I just thought it was weird where like all this other stuff, and go back to the cartoon where he neglected his wife in real life and everything. Then he becomes a cartoon mouse, and then they're in that little house, and he goes, "You look very sexy as a mouse." And then she was like, "Well, you didn't like me as a person." I was like, as a human, I was like, "What are we doing?"
I mean, she's spitting facts.
Yeah. But we say just negatives. Of course, for that time with not the CGI, but like the action effects or whatever.
Yeah,
you can see that it was for that time. It was. I took it for what it's worth. I think it's goofy, but like sometimes I felt they did too much goofy. But it's a goofy like comedy type movie thing.
I get you. So my thing is like, I don't think we needed the kids to be in the movie while they were in the world. Like the kids left to try and get them to like reconnect, right? And I feel like we didn't need to see those kids again until John Ritter and the wife got out of the whole scenario. and then they come home and they're like, oh, look, you're hugging and you're talking to each other and you don't want to watch TV anymore, Dad. Like, I feel like cutting away to the kids in the real world started to drag the movie down, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I'm saying you need it there for the simple fact that when they do later on where he plays God's voice through this stuff and everything. So
you didn't really need that. You could have cut around that to like the time expired right before they were about to kill him and he just disappears from that world, right? And then everybody's like, what is happening? And then you could have just went from there, and then John Ritter came back into the TV world with the remote. Like, he didn't really need the kids for real. But they just kind of pushed to incorporate them. But it's an early 90s family movie. And I feel like some of the segments were a little too long and they could have been a little darker. And also I got kind of tired of all of the devil puns, like Saturday unalive or whatever, and blah blah of the dead. Like, okay, I get it. You don't have to keep beating me in the face with it.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Also, like, it didn't, maybe it's for that time, it didn't seem that bad.
What do you mean?
Like, it was reasonable what they had him do. It wasn't like they stacked the chips against them.
Oh, I see. I mean, that wrestling,
the different show. Right. It was
outside the
wrestling,
like, it was,
like,
but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's also a roll of the dice of what TV world you go to, because like the one older couple, they went to a Godzilla world.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What about positives, Vera?
I like the fact that I've just seen a movie that was from my childhood, brought all those memories back. Just as much as I said they were a little too silly, I did appreciate that it was silly. Like I got pretty good laughs off of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did like that. And the length of the whole movie wasn't bad.
It was a
Like,
breeze, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I said.
like
I love that
this.
part.
Like,
Yeah, it
They
was
need to
just
bring
a
that.
short
They
movie.
need to bring back these type of movies.
like I watched it in like
Yeah.
a quick, like I watched it like almost straight through, but then I had to pause it to do something. I was like, wait, I got 15 minutes left?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I appreciate how short it was. I forgot movies were that short. We've gotten so used to hour and 58 minutes, 2.5 hour movies that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot people used to get to the point
Yeah.
quicker.
Positives, Matt. Or yeah, Matt.
The plot, the synopsis of this was good. I feel like you could do this could work anytime and everything else like that. I really like the plot of this. I like the different channels and everything, but I wish they would have been more consistent on the channels. Like, because when the kids changed the channel, sometimes they were there, sometimes they weren't there. So like I was like to know, like, maybe lay out, I guess it's whatever one that the station says they go to, right? That's how it works. It's not random.
I mean, I'm not sure, because like when they switched from Northern Exposure to, I think it was the black and white movie, I think they had to like flick around before they found them again. And I'm like, how did you know to stop here? Like, how did you know how
Right.
much to watch? Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't very clear, those rules outside of the TV.
Right. But like the synopsis of this is, I think it'd be good. I think like something like that could work today.
Well,
but also like
hold,
I'm thinking,
hold that thought.
okay. So also I really enjoyed the satellite dish in the back, because I remember going to my grandparents' house and they used to have this big ass black satellite dish in their backyard.
Look like something that should be on top of the TV studio.
Yeah, like this is what NASA using out here.
Right.
But I did enjoy that. Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed this movie. Nice blast from the past. Like, like if you see John Ritter in something, you're gonna get a specific kind of movie, and like they don't make movies like this anymore. And bless you. And it's just wild to think like the way that we do movies nowadays, that this movie came out in the theater. You know? Like
Yeah.
you couldn't
Right.
put this in the theater now.
No.
And
No,
I
this
really,
would be like a TV movie.
right, like
Oh, yeah.
something straight to streaming. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I really liked the whole aspect of the channel hopping. I wish there was more of it. And honestly, like when just to go back to previous episodes, like when we were talking about like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, this is what I thought it would be. Them constantly jumping to different scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So like I
Right.
really like that aspect of the movie. But you kind of touched on this in your positives, Matt. So would you two would have rather they made a sequel to this movie in the 90s or 2000s, or would you have rather they make a remake of it now? And whichever option you choose, pitch it. And sorry to put you on the spot.
Okay.
If you want, I can go
Or
first.
no. Well, I don't want you to go first because what if you steal my idea, or what if I subliminally steal? No, it's okay. You go first.
I
So
was gonna say, hey, you could totally go first. I'm still battling either way.
So the way that TV is so fractured now, I honestly don't think you could make this movie now and honor the spirit of the original, because it's like, yes, people have cable, but cable really isn't what it used to be. And it's mostly like stuff's happening on streaming, but there's so many streaming services and stuff. And so like if you made this movie now, would it be that they got sucked into a Roku and they're jumping in apps? So my option would be that they would have made a sequel to this like 10 years later. Maybe the same characters, maybe not. But like the TV landscape of the 2000s, you explore like different reality shows and more game shows, and like how TV was getting a lot better because of like stuff like Sopranos and stuff. Like jump into those kind of worlds. And also like the docu-series, like The Office, like stuff like that, like where you have more genres to play with in the 2000s. And also it still makes sense for it to be cable TV or satellite or whatever.
When did this movie come out?
1992.
Okay. Yeah, 90s wouldn't be good. Yeah, 2000s. All right, now to play devil's advocate. Oh no, Vera, you can go next because now I gotta figure out a way for this to be made now. To be a contrarian. Let me think of something. But Vera, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Chad. I think it probably would have been best to make a sequel versus now. I think it's way too many options on shows, how to see it, where it is, where it's available. Like, I think if they remade it, the movie would probably be 3 hours long. Like, by the time they try to hop through a show or genre that everybody could relate to, I think it would be that long. Like, I feel back then, like you only had a certain amount of channels that were available to you. Like, okay, I watched a Turkish film. No way would I be able to see that without actually being in that country
Right.
back then. So it's like it would just be too many options nowadays to, like you said, honor the spirit of that. So
And also, like,
no.
how do you market that now? Like, they had the problem of marketing this back then. This movie flopped. But, like,
Yeah.
how do you market a movie like this? Like, so now, with like as weird concepts as we have now, how do you market this show? Like,
Okay,
sorry,
so
this movie.
So then I thought about it. So it will have to be something like, I hate to bring this name up again, but Space Jam 2, in a sense of
Wait,
you will
what's
need
What's
you will need
happening
a
right now?
you will need a major property, i.e., something that can cover a lot of genres and things like that. So say if you do Disney, or you did Paramount or something like that, and you have to limit to them, but that platform will need to
Oh,
have
I
different
see.
stuff that you can go from a comedy, a drama, a TV show, a movie.
So
Because
okay,
right now
so
when
if
I'm
it
thinking
was like
Disney, I'm only thinking
Paramount, if it was like Paramount, you could do like, oh, I jumped into Top Gun world and I jumped into Yellowstone world. Okay.
right.
Okay.
It'll have to be more exclusive to that, to where then you'll be able to kind of shrink it down. But it has to be, like you said, enough properties for you to do different stuff to make it good. And also to keep on the, I think it'll play good with a lot of shows that we've had since then. You could make some great comedy situations from different movies and TV shows. Now, the synopsis of the devil and everything else like that,
Yeah, we don't need that.
yeah, because I don't think that's gonna fly. I don't think. I mean, you come up with a different reason of why they got sucked in and how they have to get out, but yeah, you can make it work, but it's got to be a single property type of thing.
Yeah.
And then that one, it'll just be more of a nostalgic type of thing, to where, oh, I remember Little House on the Prairie, and they do some things like that, or I remembered this,
Yeah.
whatever, and it's just, you just gotta have a good.
Just like how we were like foaming at the mouth when each new episode of WandaVision, because it was like touching on like different old genres.
Right.
Okay. So like you get like to the Nick at Night segment, and you got like
I Love Lucy, and
yeah,
you have somebody doing the chocolate thing for I Love Lucy, or the wine thing,
and then
but
like Happy Days and stuff. Okay, I'm with you now. You made a really good case, man.
But the thing is, you got to have somebody who can the comedic timing of the stuff has to be top notch for it to work. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Put this out there. I'm gonna put this out here right now, and I don't think either one of y'all gonna fight me. Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, I 100% agree. Paul Rudd will knock this shit out the park. Right. Female wise, think of a female, because that's who I was thinking of.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like they didn't give the wife a lot to do in this movie.
Right. But I was thinking either Amy Poehler or
well, it's 2023. If you got Paul Rudd as the lead, you can't have the co-star be white.
Okay.
So,
ooh, well, I don't know how good she is.
Don't say what I'm about to. Do not say Tiffany Haddish.
Oh boy.
No. I was about to say, I started watching a show on Netflix called Beef.
I was thinking of the Ali Wong.
And I was thinking of Ali Wong.
Okay.
There's something about, like, I know she does stand up.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen her stand up, but I know she does stand up. But watching her on this, she's playing like an angry person. I don't want to spoil it because I want to finish it before I bring it to the show. But something about her is fucking funny. Even when she's not doing comedy,
I get
but just something about her is funny. So right now, I'm in the middle of this. I say Ali Wong.
I'm with that. I'm with that. Like they would kill this, especially like when they get to the point where they're like fed up and they just start making fun of the show that they're in.
Oh my god.
Right.
I'm with that. Okay, you convinced me, man. You could, yes.
Yeah, she's a good one. I gotta see Beef. Yeah, I have to watch that.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That was fun. What would you all say the Rotten Tomatoes is on this movie? And I'm going to be nice. Do not go above 50%.
Now, before you previously said this movie bombed, I thought people would have enjoyed it for that time and everything. So, but now with that being said, I guess not. 45?
Maybe 35, 40.
Well, you guys said something that made me want to try and do some research, and this research isn't researching. I was trying to see what this movie opened against. The answer is 47%.
Oh.
I'm really thinking about this Paul Rudd, Ali Wong thing, and I'm thinking that chemistry will work. It won't be like that Jonah Hill,
Oh
Laura
my
London type of
goodness.
thing.
No.
I think they will have real chemistry. I think like we'll say same scenario. Paul Rudd is couch potato type of thing, and then Ali Wong is yelling at him.
I forgot to bring this up. I love 1992 that they made the wife a girl boss. I love that. And this is not me being like facetious. I love that she was like a vice president in 1992.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
That was pretty forward.
But Chad, we were talking about script writing earlier. Maybe if we just, I was about to say still is not the right word. If we borrowed from other scripters already, all we gotta do is just update it. It should be easier.
I don't think it would be hard to get the rights to Tune D. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is what was in the theater the week that it came out. Unforgiven was in its second week. That's a Clint Eastwood Western. That was number 1 the weekend it came out. Number 2 is Single White Female.
Oh.
Number 3.
I have no idea what that was about.
Do you remember what this movie's about, Vera?
Yeah, if I'm correct, I think it was about another lady that she was obsessed. I can't remember if it was a neighbor or somebody from work. She was obsessed with her and wanted to be this other lady. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Psychological.
Bridget Fonda.
Yeah, I
Bridget
remember
Fonda,
erotic thrillers.
Oh, yeah. During the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. They loved sex back then. Okay. Number 3, Death Becomes Her.
Oh, that's so hilarious. That is funny.
Number 4, Three Ninjas.
Ooh.
Number
we do Three Ninjas.
we do need to do Three Ninjas. Number 5, in its 8th week in the box office, it made $5.7 million. Its 8th week in the box office, A League of Their Own.
Oh yeah, so there was no way this movie was going to succeed.
Right.
Those are heavy hitters.
So, okay, rounding out. Number 8 was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Number 9, Stay Tuned was number 6. Number 8 was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Number 9 was Sister Act. And number 10 was Mo Money.
Yeah, there was like she said, you was in some heavy hitters, man. You should have waited. You should have delayed this by a couple weeks.
I mean, I'm sure if I push forward the next week, it was a hot week.
It's gonna be like Armageddon or something like that was out there then.
Let's see. Okay, nothing new came out for real. Oh wow, is it even here anymore? I don't even see it in the next week.
That was it.
Something called Rapid Fire came out the next week. That sounds familiar. Oh, Brandon Lee was in it.
Rapid Fire.
But yeah, it wasn't a good time for I don't know, because it's funny because the movie came out in August. That's I'm sorry, Stay Tuned. I'm sorry. And we got off track again. The audience score was 55%. So I had some fun with this trivia question. This director was offered the directing job for Stay Tuned, but declined to direct a sequel to their established franchise. Was it A? I love how Vera just got bug-eyed. Yeah. Was it A, Tim Burton? He declined to do Batman Returns. Was it B, Christopher Columbus, who declined to do Home Alone 2, Lost in New York? Or C, Richard Donner, who declined to do Lethal Weapon 3? And I want to be clear, all 3 of those movies came out in 1992. So I'm not like just pulling something from time. Like,
it really came out.
These are like the three biggest franchises of this era right now.
What was the first one? The second was Home Alone, then Lethal Weapon. What was the first one?
Batman Returns. Tim Burton, Batman Returns, Christopher Columbus, Home Alone, or Richard Donner, Lethal Weapon.
I'm for the first one, Tim Burton.
I go with Christopher Columbus for the simple fact that it's a family movie. Both of them are family movies.
Right. Tim Burton was offered this movie, but he declined because he got a big old check from Warner Brothers to do Batman Returns.
I get it. Get that money.
I want to ask this question. These three are the the highest grossing movies of 1992. Can you guys place them? Like which one made the most, second most, and third most?
Okay.
Batman, Home Alone,
Mm-hmm.
and then Lethal Weapon 3.
Okay. Vera, what you got?
Yeah, same. Okay, same.
Now y'all right. Y'all right.
I was like, wait, yeah.
So this is just the money these movies made in 1992. Because y'all remember back in the day, movies was in the theater for like a year and a half. So Batman Returns in 1992 made $162 million. Home Alone 2 made $149 million. Lethal Weapon 3 made $144 million. And I'm gonna tell you the number 4 and number 5 highest grossing movies of 1992. Sister Act, which if you recall was out with Stay Tuned, and it made 139 million, and Disney's Aladdin made 123 million. This is just for 1992.
Wow.
We was out there seeing movies like that.
It was a different time, y'all. Like this is not adjusted for inflation. This is not adjusted. All right, I got 3 bits of trivia. One, Pam Dauber, that's the wife. She was 5 months pregnant during filming. The wardrobe department would specifically design her clothes to hide her growing baby bump. Early trailers and other promotional materials showed a close-up of the 2 actresses in the Three's Company spoof, revealing that they were lookalikes and not the original actresses. In the final cut, the close-up was removed. And lastly, the animated sequence had already been in production for 6 months when the filming of the live action portion of the movie began, which makes sense because it's like that was really good 2D animation.
Also, I feel like I forget to mention that. I think that kind of ran long.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like some of these segments kind of went a little too long. But yeah, this was a really fun one, Vera. I appreciate you agreeing to come on and go down memory lane with me. So thank you.
Thank you.
I don't care what Matt said. The reason we're itchy from that energy drink is because it's something in our genetics. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing else. No other science to it. Okay.
I mean, that very well could be it. I heard that with mosquitoes, because I get bit by them, swell up, red, itch, and all of that. They said that some people can get stung by them and no reaction at all.
What?
But the people that do have it are actually allergic. It's just not severe enough. And I was like, oh wow. So I'm wondering if this C4 kind of like the same thing.
It's got mosquito resin in it.
No, just that a lot of people will react, but you have a small amount where they're not.
I got you.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to plug before we get out of here, Vera?
Unfortunately, I do not. I can't think of anything.
Not The Protector on Netflix, 4 seasons, 30 minutes each.
Oh yeah, and BMF. I do have to say I enjoyed it thoroughly.
You're a fan of Black Mafia Family, huh?
Yes, and I don't know why, because it's usually not my type of show. It really isn't. But that has very much kept my attention, more so than Power. Like I fell off of Power. I'm in and out. Like take it or leave it. But BMF, I'm on pins and needles to wait for the next season to come up.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page, We Used to Talk About This at Work, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. while it's still legal in America, at We Used to Talk Pod. Follow me on Letterboxd at BOW1213, Matt at Mr. King0257, and come back next week when we discuss the Apple TV original film Tetris. I thought I kind of was teetering between asking you to do that one, Vera, but I was like, no, I want you to go down this journey with me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Had a good time.
Yeah.
And like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode. But whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.